Hey guys, I don't know how much I've got in me. I'm pretty tired today, but I wanted to get in and see about finishing that tug and making it work properly. It looks like it's not done. Is that my robot? Nice. What's up, bud? So, right. I wanted to get in and see, well, see if we could maybe print the old mothership. Oh, and I apparently just logged out and left my tools and stuff sitting on the ground somewhere. So I expect they either got cleaned up or not. No idea. Classic. Oh, yay. The graphics driver is unhappy. Still. Even without broadcast. So, I guess bear with me. We are experiencing technical issues, as usual. And our batteries are full. So let's turn our thrust on and get out of here. It's time for space. I don't have any oxygen with me except what's in the ship, so I'll need to pay attention to that. But it's definitely time to find some platinum and some uranium. Probably also want to find some right. 3 turns off our back thrust. I mean, that's better stuff. Got our parachutes, we've got full tank. Well, nearly full tank now. Our generators are on, making more hydrogen, although they, even with, I think, 5 of them right now, still not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one behind the cockpit. Yeah, that's still not enough to just supply it forever. We're gonna end up with like 50% hydrogen by the time we even make it to space, probably. Now that my stream is actually working, you can actually watch. So I printed one of these hydro miners of mine, the VNHYMN, and I'm going to space to get some platinum and uranium for Max and the hat, so that they well, so that I can have the better tools, but also so that we can build jump drives, etc., etc. But of course, that takes getting into space. Batteries seem to be working well. I feel like last time I flew this thing, or one of these, I maybe didn't have all my batteries or something, because I only had like 20 minutes battery. Not one day. Probably should have put some sort of defensive measures on this thing, although I don't know where. I guess I could have slapped a maybe, no, I don't know about turrets that are 2x2, unfortunately. No idea where I could have put them. But wherever. Well, I guess I could slap them right on top of the hydrogen tanks. That way when I get shot at and they aim for my turrets, the whole ship blows up immediately. Right? But then I have to totally reconfigure how the drills work. So maybe not. We're not out of gravity yet. I need to see about the ore detector. They have the ore detector plus, so we're gonna crank that range up like it should be. And we're also gonna look at batteries, event controller. Stored power equal or less than 20%. Come on. Oh, those. Oh, they're already there. It is working. But it needs to be an AND gate. Speaking of which, The other event controllers also need to be AND gates, especially cargo. Gravity, no. Hydro, yes. Oh, except remove those and get our hydrogen tanks in there. Okay. So that should kick on. Let's see if our actions are still on. Nope. That should kick on. Hopefully we're not falling back to Earth while I'm doing this. That should kick those guys on. Nope. Should toggle block on. Alright. Gravity. Natural gravity changed. If it's more than 0.6, those guys should be on, and if it's less than 0.6, those guys should be off automatically, but apparently not. So I'm not 100% sure how that works, but we can at least go start looking at this stuff. .600 ought to be long enough to see pretty much anything in an asteroid if we fly by it close. I would hope. Ice. How are we doing on ice? I don't think we have any. So let's get us some ice. And therefore, actually, oh wow, is that ice like super deep, or is it on the other side? I feel like it's on the other side. Or maybe it's super deep. This was quite a bit closer than going in elsewhere, but can't really replenish our hydro without having ice in our tanks, and our cargo is empty, so I'm going to fill up on ice, and then we'll worry about room for other things later. don't have a space on the dash for... I don't even have room for it. But a space on the dash for, right, we don't need gravity thrust. That'll save us some of that, but, stone ejection. That should be on, and should be rain all throw out. Yeah, I can hear it working. Cool. We look, there goes our stone. Oh, and we got the connection to our parachutes that I was worried about previously. So cool. I didn't bring any first aid, but you can see we're already at 51, and we're at like 47, so these guys are working on their job. And if we look behind us, we see nothing. Which I find weird. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Super dark. Alright, we're good on that. I think because there's no visual there, I'm gonna go out forward. Okay, and I'm going to mark this. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can go visit our other friends. Basically gonna mark all of them. We're still in gravity by a tiny bit. Hopefully it doesn't pull us too far. Turn my engines off to save stuff. Those seem close, but I seem very close actually. Got here ice and iron. Don't need them. I would like a GPS, but that's close enough. I'm gonna head back towards that one we were actually going for. mission is uranium and platinum while remaining alive and successfully landing back at the faction base. And ice and silicon. But if I GPS all of these, then I will know what I've been to. And I suspect that some of these ones a little bit further out, especially the ones out of gravity, might actually hold uranium. We can't always be so lucky as the last time I came out to space in one of these, where I think it was literally the second asteroid I looked at was uranium. And a bunch of it. Of course, there is connection problems, but that's cool. And I'm thinking about giving Empyrean another go. They just had a recent update. I'd like to see how it is now. I haven't played in a couple of years at least. But they just had another update, and the new starting planet looks like it might be fun to start on. So I'm thinking about doing that on a stream one of these days. Still need to consider our hydrogen. There's just nowhere to put it. I really wanted to put a survival kit on this thing, but there's just nowhere to put it. It would be nice to be able to leave this thing sitting out here with okay, that's just ice on that apparently. We'll just fly a little closer just to be sure. But that's pretty much the other side of this asteroid, or this cluster. Well, we know where to find the ice, that's for sure. Okay, 3 hours is more like it. I guess because we're actually processing ice into hydrogen, we're using a lot more battery. The question is, can you efficiently process ice into hydrogen while making enough hydrogen to run your hydrogen engines to give you enough power to process ice into hydrogen? And what is the ratio there, if there is one? Or is that just a losing proposition, assuming you just had infinite ice? Okay, well, we have cobalt for sure, and more cobalt. Oh, what was that? I saw something else up there that looked a lot like an EM, which may be magnesium. So I suspect this is going to be cobalt and magnesium, and there'll be more magnesium up there. Yep. And even more magnesium. And more cobalt. Okay, well, we know what's in that patch for sure. What about who's closer? I don't know, we'll go here. It's kind of hard to tell. I suspect the upper left there is actually closer, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, connection problem again. Yay. I need to figure out a better cycle here. I think for the flight bar, toolbar here for number 1, and then we have our landing bar. But I think for the flight bar, we actually, I need to figure out a better system. Maybe all but the front and gravity thrust be on number 2, and then that'll be independent. Which means I need another group that's like everything but those others. It's just too bad that we can't put, well, just like problems with room for a survival kit, room for everything else, can't put solar on this thing because we just don't have the room for it. I may have to just actually just sit somewhere, go make a coffee, and let the hydro generators generate hydrogen. This thing has a real limited range. Although the fact that it can actually get into spaces is good. We use so much platinum. That was one of our goals. If I have to fly down and drop off this platinum and come back, that's not actually terrible. But this thing does have, doesn't it? No, I thought I put reactors on this thing. Huh. Oh well. This thing should have a couple of reactors on it, in my opinion. Well, let's mark those first. And then one nice thing is that, oh wow, it's right on the surface too, and it looks like a lot. I was gonna say, one nice thing is that mining doesn't use much hydrogen, so at least we get that bonus. And we can use parachutes to land. So instead of blowing a bunch of hydrogen on the landing, wait, even getting platinum is the question. Yes, nice. We're going to totally fill up on platinum. I think we're going to take the platinum back. We'll fill the drills too. Then as the ice processes, we'll take it out of the drills. Or we could have a big old connection problem. We haven't gotten any stone at all? That's pretty nice. Oh god. Oh, and a Mayday, huh? Well, I'm not too worried about a Mayday. 10K is a decent distance. I'm not gonna go try to attack the thing. I'm sure they still have thrusters. I'm sure they still have turrets. Thank you, broadcast controller. You are actually working properly. That's awesome. So the event controller actually worked this time. I mean, it's kind of a silly little thing to have on there since I'm already paying attention. But still fun to build and be a part of the thing. Platinum is a long process, so... Okay, we're finally getting stone, too. Okay, the question is that outpost on this side? It must be, right? I kind of want to go back via somewhere that might actually have uranium, even if I don't get it. Would be nice to have. I do have room for some small reactors, so I ought to be able to... It would be a real good idea to put some small reactors on this thing, at least a couple. Then we don't have to worry about as much about processing our hydrogen. Alright. Well, that's happening. So we... Gravity thrust is those two. And back thrust is those two. Okay. So these are our... Well, select all of them and then we'll unselect the backwards ones. Are you unselected or not? Nope, we want that one, that one. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a moment here, but I'm gonna have to work on that later, because we're here at another... another cluster. Looks like we're somewhat indefinite about how long we can stay out here. I can see ice on the surface of this one. More magnesium, more platinum. Oh, I guess that wasn't ice, I guess that was magnesium. So I expect that it'll just be magnesium and platinum. I just need to see what's in that big chunk over there, if anything. It appears to be nothing. Oh, more platinum, okay. Oh, and nickel. I know NI doesn't mean nickel for real, but, or maybe it does. I don't actually know. Because I don't know the table of elements, or at least the abbreviations, so I'm just using my own abbreviations. I'll know that was nickel, and that's what matters. And more mag, okay. Alright, well I do believe we should probably just head back. And hope we can parachute right on. And our parachutes auto deploy at 1750, which I had them auto deploying earlier at 750, and that was cheek clenching, nail biting experience. I thought sure they weren't going to pop, and that they hadn't popped, and that they weren't slowing me down fast enough. And so I'd rather glide down slowly and maybe even have a chance to make some adjustments if I'm going to like hit the base or something, rather than just throwing caution and just saying, okay, whatever. If I can shoot down fast enough, if I can shoot down close enough to the outpost, then only having 40% hydrogen won't be a big deal. But the big win is the pile of platinum we've got. Especially those two containers. Oh, that's a small, okay, no wonder. Yeah. 21, 23, and 8, although that should keep going up as the ice is used, but maybe the ice will be used from these. And then the drills have a bunch as well, so we're cool. We'll turn it off entirely until we get closer. Oh wow, I did not see that thing. I'm glad I didn't hit it, because I didn't see it. But having the asteroids I visited marked helps with next time I come up. So the other guys who started this server and were on it for quite a bit before I got on it haven't really gotten out into space much, if at all, that I know about. But that's always like a primary goal for me. we got 40K. Maybe I can get the thrusters worked out by then. But not those two. These two. Not those two. And then all the rest of these. Lots of thrusters. What do we call it? Main thrust. How about main thrusters? Alright. And we're still doing good like that. We did pass a random asteroid just a second ago, but I didn't notice any markers. So right. So this becomes main thrusters. But for some reason that doesn't work. Not a good time to shouldn't have a cockpit in it. Okay, so now that turns everything on that's important. Cool. And if I want to turn all the thrusters off and on for some reason, I've got that on bar 2, which is where I normally want to turn all the thrusters off at once. In this case, I want to be able to separate main thrust from stopping thrust from additional lifting thrust, which are these two down ones here. Looks like our drills are empty. And we've recovered actually a decent amount of hydrogen. And we don't have to use 40% of our hydrogen getting out of Atmo. So I think this thing has passed the multiple uses test. And now it's just about getting aimed correctly. Now I don't want to land right on it, but I also don't want to fly 20 kilometers. So here's the Here's the make or break. Okay, so based on the fact that the markers are 14 and the planet is 13, let's throw our stopping thrusters on. See if we slow down at all. Wait a second. There we go. No, these aren't stopping us even a little bit. We're coming in at 100 meters a second, and that's just how it is. Oh, I can actually stop us without chutes. Maybe. Then all of a sudden, no, I can't. Anywhere between iron and 8 friendly signals will be good. Our chute should pop any time. There we go. Thank you. Are we moving at all? No, I think we're safe. I didn't bring spare chutes, so we're really, really, really bad on hydro, so hopefully we're gonna make it. We're doing it. We're doing it. 12%. Not great. 10. Oh god, I need to be way lower. I want to be like, I want to be like 3 meters from the ground. So if I do fall, yeah, we're not doing so good on the old hydrogen. Yep. But we didn't blow up. I don't even think we're running our electricity for some reason. I wonder we ran out. Alright, well this is a little weird, but we've still got the ice for it, so cool. Does anybody know what key it is to see who's connected? Is it F2? No. That, I believe, is the key in Empyrean, actually. It's pretty weird to know that when I haven't played it in many years. I also don't know why the hydro engines came on. I don't think I pressed the button, so I don't know why they came on automatically. Unless my event controller is weird. I'm trying to conserve hydrogen here by not using my gravity thrust. Because I think it's going to take a couple more stop and waits before we end up actually able to connect to the base. So it really is just hurry up and wait. I mean, at this point, I could start just carting platinum. Maybe, yep. Although that being there, let's see, how do we get to platinum? Like this. Could just start dumping stuff in the connector. They have a whole bunch of tools queued up to be made. Oh, that's the wrong direction. This will also reduce the weight and allow us to fly with less hydro and maybe actually have enough to get onto this connector, at which point we can immediately fill. What are you in? The bottom connector, okay. Maybe I broke it? Probably broke it. Means not only do I need time to get onto the connector, I need time to repair my bottom connector. So this is a fine pastime while we wait. But if all I did was break my bottom connector, I'm actually pretty happy. Well, let's have a little gander. Maybe that's enough. I do believe it is. We really ought to have our back thrust on though. Nice. And what have we got? Our core is on. Alright. And so now we can see we've stolen all the hydrogen from the base. Which means that the base needs some serious work towards maybe automating hydrogen. But given that that's that and that's there, yes, we've got the good ones now. One, and one. All right. I actually use a clone chamber. Well, that seems like a pretty good mission. Success all around. This thing still has trouble, though. This thing still has problems. Gotta figure out what the deal is. Because it sinks with any load on it, and a tug should not sink. There's something broken here? Yeah, there is. Sure, you can withdraw 4 steel plates. You come all the way through. We're connected to the welder wall, which has access, but okay, whatever. Oh, these guys are all damaged. I think it probably has something to do with having no, landing gear. It lands right on your thrusters, and that's probably part of it. So I should put landing gear on that thing. Did I grab that? Okay, it must just be steel plate now? I'm very confused about the parts that I picked up. Alright. Well. Yay, a merchant. I do have money. Will he make it over the lip of that butte, though? While he's coming, I should fire this thing up and lift it up and put at least a single landing gear on it somewhere. It's really not obvious even where. I wonder if he's actually going to come close, or do I have to fly out 2K to him? I guess I'll just fly out to him. there's, oh yeah, I was gonna put reactors on that. I'll let you, go where you were gonna go. I don't know where that was, but... I assume he's gonna, like, land over here somewhere. I've never actually let them land yet. This is a new mod to me. I don't think interacting with his store actually breaks anything. Just uranium ingots. Right. I'll spend half my money on that. Except all is not the button you press. I'll buy 6 uranium ingots. Thank you. Alright, so if we're gonna put some reactors, it's probably the only place, although it'd be nice if there was a safer place. Well, it'd also be nice if I had the stuff. But it does have to be on... I think this is probably as safe as it gets. But let's put them apart from one another a little bit. That way catastrophic explosion on the back won't necessarily kill everything. Alright, let's use... oh, that must just be large reactors. Okay, well, I guess 2 back is where they're going. Oh, right, we need ice. Well, and uranium ingots go through Right. Wait, I've still got... How do I have platinum ore in several of these things still? Well, put one and one. Okay, well, it split it up just fine. Cool. That's a little better, but now we don't want to necessarily run those. Which means I need another event controller. Okay. So, I think that goes with the batteries. And instead of running... Yeah. Okay, we need reactors, group, and then we need event controller. The batteries event controller, instead of rolling our hydrogen, we will roll our... Oh, we're not even doing that. Okay. Do we have any timer blocks? Pretty sure I put timer blocks on here, right. Battery timer low. And battery timer high, I think. Alright, so when it's low, we turn our reactors on, not those ones, these ones. Toggle block on, and then we say so, only I don't remember which message it is. So I need to go figure that out. I actually changed the message, probably. Battery's getting low. Fading. And that's message 2. Broadcast. Transmit message 2. Alright, battery timer high is no delay. No delay. Actions are reactors off. And broadcast message 4 maybe. I think we can do 4. Let's look at our actions again just to make sure. Yep, okay. Yeah, message 4. Alright, so that should give us what we want, assuming the batteries are still stored power is equal or less than 20%. Our batteries anded actions. So when it's true, we transmit 2 and activate, nope. When it's true, we hit the timer. Trigger now. And when it's false, we don't want to do that because we want them to actually go above 20%. So how about we set it for 50%? No, we need another event controller for when the batteries are high. But where do we put that event controller? We are really low on space. I guess we could put it probably right there, but actually better spot would be right there. Yeah. And I think I'll put a couple, since I seem to find new uses for them. Won't go there. Oh, that's because there's a sensor there. Okay, maybe I won't put a couple. Maybe I'll just put the one I need. But one thing I need to do while I'm thinking of it is fix my tools. Alright, we got another event controller. So reset. Prefix and actually name it up here. Okay. And HY MN batteries upper event controller. And we'll actually rename this one a little bit. Alright, so this guy watches the batteries. Which is stored power is equal or greater than 90. Those guys anded. And then our action is battery timer low. No, battery timer high. Right. And to verify again, it would be nice to have that spelled correctly, though. Alright. Yeah, so that's all good. We've got 74% hydro, which is enough for the moment. So our so we come off here, replace the blueprint. No. Significantly different. Nope, we'll actually just save the blueprint. Oh, this thing needs a name, though. Call it 2. It's actually more of a 1.1, but it doesn't matter. And then vector. Nice. Has built-in fixed and automatically aligns it. That's actually pretty sweet. Right. Now, hopefully we don't ever find out what the whether the battery timer works or not, because yeah, it's not necessarily getting down to 20% power is not necessarily something I actually want. But what I do want to do is turn the reactors off. For now. And I want to get off this thing again and save it again. Right, so that thing, right, oh, and we got it. Okay. We are named. Right. Well, that thing is so close. I should just go hit it before it lands. And, thereby avoid any shenanigans. Ah, yes, it has shenanigans attached. Hey, rainbow gloves. Pretty sure I already have them. I want to see what the script is. Oh, I'm not allowed to. It's fine. Come on, that's... Where's the cargo in it? Is that the cargo? Okay, well, 600 is more than none. What do we got there? That's a light. Alright, but why is there still... platinum in my ship? Or at least I thought there was. Yeah, there's still platinum in the ship. Of course. Didn't automatically suck it down, which is fine, because it might have stolen my uranium otherwise. Ah, apple win. Yes, the shenanigans are the fun thing. I have no idea what shenanigans that one would be getting into, since it didn't have a bomb. It just had neon tube and some sort of programmable block. That's what I was worried about, was that it was going to be a programmable block that would, like, detonate a bomb. But I guess they wouldn't need a program. Maybe I missed a sound block or something. Maybe it was going to play me a tune. I missed one of the special ones a while back, which was unfortunate. It was 20 kilometers away and was gonna despawn in 3 minutes by the time I noticed it, so I just said, oh well, whatever. Now the question is, do I go back to space? Or do something else? Because I just joined this server yesterday. Max invited me, and I don't really feel right about doing massive things to the base on my own volition just yet. We talked about the welder wall. I set up how I build welder wall. Max extended it 4, 6, 8, and 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. We're prepping to print the mothership, which is, let's see, which is super janky hydrogen vector thrust, ship that's 28 blocks long and whose kind of job will be is to either, like we set up this spine, hard to see, hard to get a good angle on it like this, but we set up this spine of connectors. So the idea was that we could connect things to it here, or spawn things maybe as a printer. It's got production capability, and it's a vector thrust hydrogen based ship. So it's an interesting build, but it's really hard at this small size to really go take a look at it, especially in a blueprint. Yeah, big ship, big lag. It did have a mag plate on the bottom though. But yeah, it's actually not that massive as far as these things go. The main thing is it only needs 4 thrusters. Well, 6 because I want cruise control. But it only uses 4 large thrusters, and that covers, 4 large and 4 smalls, but only 2 of those smalls are actually like part of the main portion of the flight characteristics. So those 4 larges cover up and down and back and forward, and 2 smalls cover side to side. And then with the Vector OS script, putting fixed thrust on pointing forward means when you turn that forward facing thrust off, it automatically goes into cruise control mode for you. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I build weirdly designed ships, and I'm definitely not a PvP builder in Space Engineers anyway. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually participated in PvP in Space Engineers. But I do enjoy building interesting things. It's about as conventional as it gets for me. Here's my hopper. For example. So, 4 small thrusters, and then the steering and cruise control. Happily sits upside down. Doesn't as happily sit sideways, but yeah, these guys have got this server modded up quite a bit. But it's all about the PvE. The one that I think is pretty funny recently. Now this one you just need to have a scripter roll, and you can build this with Vector Thrust OS as a script, as long as you're capable of running scripter roles. But they have this this bot printer that prints these weird little bots. It's right here. So this thing, I already have a bot. So you can tell them what their priority is, set up a bot who goes around destructing things, picking things up, scavenging things. But I have a repair bot. Oh, there's mine. So, find him. There he is. So, as long as I'm on, he just grabs materials out of the nearest box. Maybe it has to be marked, maybe not. This might be part of the AI-enabled mod. I'm not sure. But he goes and repairs things or builds unfinished blocks. And he works on large and small grid. And makes funny noises. So, cool. I think it's a pretty cool thing. But I don't need him to be building that stuff. Like, I have no idea whether the plan is for that stuff to get built or not. So I'm just going to put him away. Oh, except I gotta select mine, because you can have more than one. There, dude. Goodbye. This is the tug that I built with the intent of using it to print that big ship. I think it can carry it, so the idea would be to print it and go put it on a connector so that it can get hydro immediately. But I'm now thinking I may want to just use a piston to extrude it. We're going to print it sideways eventually, not today, but eventually. Yeah. Well, you'll hear more of my funny noises now that I've gotten rid of NVIDIA Broadcast, which was sucking up all my GPU and causing all kinds of crashes. So now you get to hear everything rather than AI filtered voice only. But yeah, we're going to print it sideways, and so it's only going to need to actually pull out like, I don't know, 8 or 10 blocks, something like that. But it's not that wide. Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, maybe 7 blocks wide. And of course you can't print the subgrid, so I'm going to have to go add the hydro thrusters after anyway. Still got to actually set up some sort of connector port, because it's not going to fit here. This connector I just literally stuck out here to build a few ships. But maybe it's time. What time is it? Yeah, they did great. They really did. This game has still got legs, even though we're probably all going to ditch it for Space Engineers 2 here very soon. Although the survival update that's coming is pretty awesome. Looking anyway. Um, Although it's gonna bring it more towards the Empyrean gameplay. I don't know if you played that one or not. It's gonna add some stuff like actual non-unmodded food with growing your food, and I'm sure and the kitchens will be actually up to date. So the question is, do I have time tonight to go up and look for uranium? I still haven't actually gone to Sten Station, however, which is another possibility, but that'll just be a lot of planetary flying, since I would take the hopper for that one. I do need money. I just spent 500 grand on 6 uranium ingots. So I don't have to use my hydro to run my batteries, to fix my, recharge my batteries. But, yeah. Just trying to think what all I can do. Now not the Sten, but this ship shop, I did find a station to buy ships at. They're the ones that you normally buy. But they would be good to make some money on that. So maybe we have a look at, oh, yeah, I didn't see where that was. You can actually sell ships. So maybe it's time to go hydroman miner hydro combination of tunneling and hydroman this Atom Heart Station. Or that Atom Heart Station. Huh. I haven't seen those. Or that one. And go see what's inside. I don't have any guns though. Having guns might be handy. Pretty sure I can get to the guns from this one. What do you got? Maybe a rocket launcher? Could I sneak up and pop up with rocket launcher? What's the difference? Precision scope. I did bring back platinum, so I feel okay with using that. Got 95 platinum ingots. I'm pretty sure they remain on the workshop forever. Or until you delete them. So maybe it's still there. Yeah, we still got plenty of platinum to get through too. Cool. Right, 1,000 superconductors. I thought it required platinum. What else requires platinum besides, besides not even reactors, besides the tools? I thought jump drives needed platinum. One thing I neglected to put on the mothership was a jump drive, so... Thanks. You as well. Oh yeah, and I gotta put the rotary airlock in as well. Ion thrusters, right. Yep, there we go. 10 platinum ingots. Well, it might make sense to convert the mothership to ion after we get it into space. Although then we can't dump it. And we can't land it on another planet, which is actually kind of part of the point of the playthrough on these guys. Alright, I guess acquiring uranium is probably the most important bit. But actually, I'm going to build a rocket launcher and some rockets. And I'm going to go have fun. Well, not that the rest of this isn't fun, but... Oh, we already have rocket launchers. Although, I am getting tired. Maybe, maybe it's just time to call it. Yeah, right on. Well, it was eventful. I didn't blow anything up this time. Pretty good. Uh, so I guess I just say here, thanks for watching. And I'll probably stream between now and then, but guaranteed next stream will be Saturday, all day Saturday. Yesterday was 13 hours, so there's that. Other than that, you'll just have to catch me randomly. And yeah. Oh, I gotta remember to go in the stupid clone chamber. Going in the clone chamber. Clone chamber is important. You don't lose your stuff that way, probably. And rather than relying on bottles, I'll just leave my helmet open. All right. Yeah. Later, guys. Folks, people, y'all, all y'all.